Hello everybody and welcome back to RogueTech, where there's been a somewhat major change that has gone through. I'm looking at the patch notes right now. In version 1.2.2.4, which is not the current version, there's been a couple fixed versions after that, but this is the most recent major version. In this version, they added that some weapons, including railguns, HGRs, and artillery, and rack 10 and 20 on high fire rates, now have a chance to knock down the firing mech by their enormous recoil. Now, this can be negated by piloting skill, as well as by the tonnage of the mech, and can be completely avoided by bracing the turn before. So, I don't know what the base chance on that is. Let's hop into the mech bay here and see if they've added it to the tooltip. I would be a little bit surprised if they had. Let's check the awesome here. Okay, I want to go down to the... I don't think the Arrow 4 will have that chance. Maybe it will. Has a recoil of 1. But let's check the sniper artillery. That one is much more likely to have the chance, in my opinion. It has a recoil of 3. 40% chance for knockdown when firing this weapon if you've moved before firing. Okay. So a 40% chance. It can be reduced by 1% per piloting point. So that just by default drops it down to a 30% chance to us. It's also reduced by a further 15%. So it's a 15% chance if we've moved before firing. Now, that's not necessarily what it says in the patch notes. We'll have to test it and see if the tooltip or the patch notes are correct. But that'll be interesting for sure. We are ready to deploy. We're not going to be deploying the Fafnir or the Annihilator. Those are not ready to go yet. But we are ready to deploy and make ourselves back some cash here. So I'd like to do something fairly simple for both generating cash. Actually, this recovery mission seems pretty decent for that. It should be a very simple one. So we're going to run that. We want to both generate cash and test out these changes. Oh, I wanted to check before we went. I wanted to see if different weapons have different knockdown chances. We need to go back into the mech bay because I want to check HGRs and I want to check the long tom. It might be based on the recoil amount. So let's check the long tom here. 50% chance of knockdown. So I'm guessing that's based on the recoil amount. Let's check the HGRs then. %. Okay. And it stacks additively with any other weapon that can cause a knockdown. Sounds good. Now, Arrow 4, of course, doesn't have that recoil. So Arrow 4 doesn't have that happen. Sniper artillery does. That might be a good reason to change off of sniper artillery. Like, that might be a better reason to use Arrow 4 than sniper. And Arrow 4 weighs less as well. So that's something to think about. But for now, we're just going to deploy to that mission. I want something fairly simple here that we can just get in and out of. So we'll just negotiate this. It's no free priority salvage. We'll sit right down the middle. And we are going to deploy all of these mechs, I think. Yeah, we're going to deploy the Bull Shark and the Mauler. So the Bull Shark goes in here. We need a Bull Shark pilot, and we also needed a longbow pilot. Okay, so that's what we're looking for right now. Orion, Annihilator, awesome linesman. Bull Shark, fantastic. Okay, so now we need a longbow pilot. Do we have one available right now? The answer appears to be a solid, definitive no. So we're just going to put Brother in there. And then we're going to drop the Corsair in favor of the Mauler. So do we have anybody with Mauler affinities? I don't recall seeing any, but that doesn't mean anything. Okay. So we'll just take Coldfire then. That'll do just fine. We'll deploy this. Yes, we have some underweight mechs. That's expected. And we're going to go. So we'll see how these knockdown mechanics end up working. But we are definitely expecting our heavy weaponry mechs to be knocked down more. But this definitely might give us a good reason to swap out of the sniper artillery and into Arrow 4. Especially since those have a lowered chance of being AMS'd anyway. Like, the primary benefit of the Arrow 4, or rather, of the sniper artillery over the Arrow 4 is that it can't be AMS'd. But it also weighs 10 tons more than at least the clan version of the Arrow 4. So, that's... Or was it 8 tons? I think it was 8 tons. That's pretty substantial, actually. We could definitely get something else in there. So that's definitely something to think about. For now, of course, we need to retrieve the data and extract safely. We have an opportunity to get our hands on the next season of a popular holovid series before it's sent out for general distribution. Fans will pay through the nose to get a copy even a few weeks early. All you have to do is go to the secure Kharitan facility where the data is being stored, and our agent will transmit the data directly to your mech. Oh, if you have a chance, pick the agent up too. He's being holed up in a secondary facility. This is the next season of Rough Riders. We need to not let Yang know. He'll trade our whole payment for early access.
Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Okay, so I think the Mauler is actually going to be exceptionally close to a 0% chance of knockdown.
Initiated.
Yes, the facility is up there. Okay. Because the Mauler is, what, a 95-tonner, which means that it's going to be not quite a 15% reduction, but it's going to be basically a sub 1% chance of being knocked down. I don't like spawning up here. There isn't a huge amount of option. Okay. Well, I guess we'll have to spawn up in these trees and see what ends up happening. This will be interesting for sure. Just spawn something like that. Okay, so this is a secondary facility, right? Okay, so we see a support lance. Yes. We see a garrison lance and a support lance. We see a hunchback, a Warhammer 2C, an Atlas, an archer with its back to us, a Highlander, and a Warhammer. Now our Salamander moves first. We can immediately come out here and we see rear arc on 3 units. So we're going to position there. The Salamander is likely going to take some pretty heavy fire in this location. We need to keep that in mind, but we're going to hit this archer rear arc. We're going to Warlord. Do we fire AX? No. I think there's no point in firing AX rear arc here.
You're facing the wrong way, pal.
And that's one dead archer.
Bye-bye.
Beautiful. So next up, let's see what they do. Phase 18, who is their Phase 18 mover? That would be this hunchback over here. Again, we're expecting that they're going to hit the Salamander pretty hard here. Hunchback moves up, fires on the Salamander as expected. And yeah, that's completely and totally expected there.
Waiting for orders.
So the Hunchback is now somewhat vulnerable. We're going to move the Awesome up in front of the Salamander here, I think. Yes. The Awesome will position here. We're kind of blocking for the Salamander. We have enough to Vigilance at this point, so that gives the Awesome cover. Then we're going to Warlord. I'd love to fire rear arc on this Warhammer 2C or this Atlas. Hit odds aren't really where we'd like them to be, so we're going to fire on the Hunchy instead.
Locked and loaded.
Solid structure exposure there.
The Cobra strikes.
Okay, the Atlas walks off a bit. That's fine.
Waiting on you,
Okay,
Commander.
so this is going to be the first firing of the HGRs. We don't expect to get a knockdown very frequently here, because there's only 25% chance. Now, we did move, so there is a knockdown chance here. But that chance is going to be very, very low. So we're going to go ahead and fire on the Hunchback. It is additive if both of these fire. So with both of them at a sub 1% chance, it should be like a 1% chance of a knockdown.
You betcha.
Now, we missed both HGRs there. And it looks like we were not knocked down. Okay, sounds good. Next up is phase 15, which will be this Highlander. We'll see what he does. Moves in, fires on the Awesome. We've got the damage reduction. Sounds good.
Reporting heavy fire.
And there's somebody that we didn't see, but that's
Receiving
okay.
you.
The longbow is going to step back over this way.
Position confirmed.
I want to get a kill on this Hunchy. So we're going to Warlord and fire on the Hunchy.
Copy that.
We got an engine crit there, so that Hunchy is very
Oh,
close to dead.
Critical hit.
A phase 14 mover that we don't see, probably up this way. Okay, they're shooting at the Salamander. Enhanced or ELRM, one or the other there. And it looked like 15s or 20s, something along those lines. So the Magcat Mark II is going to move up over here, and we're going to hit the Highlander here, I think, just because of LOS. We're going to fire on the Highlander and eliminate as much armor as we can. Looks like we got a head hit there. Was that accurate? No. It just looked like one. Got it. That's fine. Phase 13 is going to be the Warhammer 2C. Moves up and does not fire. An interesting choice, to be sure. Okay.
Hey.
So our Boar's Head is not going to move here. We're going to launch an artillery strike at this Highlander. There's a decent chance of a knockdown here. Because that sniper artillery, it's got a 40% chance of knockdown. Minus 15 and minus 10 because of our piloting and our weight. So that's 25. So we've got like a 15% chance of knockdown here. We'll see if it happens. Oh, I was on shape charge. I'm dumb. I need to swap that to high explosive. Well, we weren't knocked down, so that's good. Now the Long Tom is going to be like a 25% chance of knocking down. Which is a lot.
Systems holding.
No doubt about that.
Yes, Commander.
So these guys are a little spread out now, and that's fine. We're still going to hit the Highlander here. So yeah, the Long Tom is a 50% knockdown chance. We reduce by almost 25. The Bull Shark is a 95-tonner, not a 100-tonner, so it's not a 15% reduction. It is... I'd have to do the math. But it's going to be like a 27% chance of a knockdown here. It's a lot, no doubt about that.
Taking the shot.
That's unsteady, and it looks like we did not get knocked down. Okay. So that's good. Who do we move in this round? That's our Battle Master. I'm surprised our Battle Master rolled up phase 6. That's really late in the move order. But okay. We're going to just fire on this Highlander here. We will go ahead and not do anything with Warlord because we don't have it. But we'll fire this. Little bit of damage to the Highlander. More importantly, a knockdown. Okay, sounds good. So, phase 26, our Awesome is going to press forward here.
Affirmative.
That got us a sensor trace on this catapult. Okay. We're going to look to eliminate this Hunchy here with the Awesome. I'm not going to fire the improved heavy laser due to heat.
Firing.
And that's a dead Hunchy. Perfect.
Target eliminated.
So that's 2 mechs down. Phase 20, who do they move? We don't see. That was someone who is off sensor. Okay.
Yep.
The Salamander is going to position off over this way.
10-4.
And we're going to be firing on this Highlander. Do we need to fire AX rounds here? I think the answer is yes. We fire AX.
Affirmative.
Yeah, we didn't break through the armor even with AX rounds, so AX was absolutely the right call there. That Highlander has very little armor remaining.
What can I do
The
for you?
Mauler is going to position up over here.
On my way.
Once again, we have sub 1% knockdown chances for the Mauler, so we're not expecting any sort of a knockdown here. This could very easily be a kill on the Highlander, though.
Affirmative.
And indeed it is. Perfection. 3 enemy mechs down. Oh, we did get a knockdown from that. That's like a 1% chance. That's unfortunate, but okay. Injury resisted, so I guess that's fine. Phase 15 is going to be firing on the Mauler because it's knocked down. That's expected.
Okay, that was bad.
I was definitely not expecting to get a knockdown on the second shot with like a 1% chance. Like, I was expecting the bull shark to be the one to be knocked down first, but okay, that's fine. The longbow's going to move up, and we could fire on any of these. It looks like our correct choice, quote-unquote, is going to be the Warhammer 2C. We'll not fire this enhanced LRM-15.
Copy that.
And get some damage in there.
Watch my heat. I'm taking damage.
Okay, so the catapult will move and fire probably on the Mauler as well. Yep. So that makes the Mauler incredibly exposed, right? Wait, I wonder... Based on how they implemented this, it could be that the HGRs have a 25% knockdown chance that is added before the reduction. I assumed it was added after the reduction. I'm probably wrong on that, based on the fact that we got knocked down on our second firing. So we should expect that this is a 50% knockdown chance, same as the Bull Shark. For some reason, I was thinking that RogueTech would calculate that post-reduction, but this is RogueTech we're talking about. It's got to be pre-reduction. Okay, so the Madcap Mark II is going to move off over this direction, and we're going to fire on the Warhammer. This does mean that we should think about changing the Mauler's setup. And I should also note that quads and super heavies are immune to knockdown. So the Atlas moves up, does not fire.
Aye, aye.
Now our Bull Shark is going to step up over here.
On the move.
We fully expect that the Bull Shark is going to be knocked down soon. We're going to fire on the Atlas here.
We'll go.
Okay. No knockdown there. Phase 13, a mover that we don't see. We still don't see it. Okay.
What? No.
The Boar's Head will fire, and the Boar's Head has a pretty... Well, it has a lower knockdown chance than the other two. It doesn't have a low knockdown chance. We definitely want to swap over to high explosive, and I'm not going to fire the LRM due to heat.
Here we go.
Okay. Got some solid damage in there. Now, their Phase 11 mover is the Warhammer, which is almost certainly going to fire on the Mauler here. On the Salamander? Okay. I definitely didn't expect that choice. But sure. I don't care. It's fine. They can do that if they want. So the Battlemaster is able to shoot from where it's at either the Warhammer or the Warhammer. These are both Warhammer 2Cs. Oh, no, that's a regular Warhammer. That's a 2C. Decent hit odds on the regular Warhammer. Maybe we should close in
Got it.
a little bit for a slightly better hit chance. It's actually the same hit chance. Unfortunate, but go ahead and fire. That'll make him unsteady. Okay. They have a Phase 19 mover that we don't see. Gotcha.
Confirm.
So our Salamander wants to close in somewhere. We could close in here. Fire on their Warhammer or on their Warhammer 2C. Hit odds are better on the Warhammer. Do we need to AX this? I feel like we shouldn't. We did break through the armor there. But we didn't quite get the crits I was hoping for. I was hoping that would be a kill. Another Phase 17 mover that we don't see. Okay.
Ready for orders.
So our Awesome is going to stay where it's at and finish off this Warhammer. We can't fire one of our heavy PPCs due to heat, but otherwise, this should be pretty free here.
Hit him hard.
There's that torso destroyed.
Score forward.
I was actually expecting him to eject from that torso destruction, but no, he didn't do it, so good for him. He's very close to dead. Now the Warhammer 2C moves up. Surely this time it goes for the Mauler. Yeah. It absolutely does. That's fully expected.
That was a heavy hit, Commander.
Yeah, it was. No doubt about it. So yeah, we should definitely think about refitting the Mauler. There's no doubt about that. Okay, they're going for the Mauler as well. Because yeah, I think that this build on the Mauler is no longer viable.
Something, Chief?
I wouldn't mind changing up the build a little bit on the Atlas. The question that I have is, how can we make the Bull Shark be more viable? And that is, I think, a very important question.
Taking the shot.
How much do we care about Bull Shark knockdowns? I guess is the question. The real question here. The Madcap Mark II is going to position over here. It's going for the kill on the Warhammer. It will get it. This is a free kill right here. There we go.
One more for the kill board.
Okay. So the Atlas moves up, goes for the Mauler. Structure exposure on the Mauler. We haven't been able to stand the Mauler up yet.
I'm showing mine.
So a single HGR on the Mauler would probably be pretty viable.
Confirmed.
We could run like an HGR and a regular Gauss rifle or something. I don't know exactly what we'd run. We're going to fire the Long Tom here. We are expecting to get knocked down fairly soon.
Engaging target.
Mediocre hits there. And yeah, there's that knockdown. So the question is, are we okay with the Bull Shark being constantly knocked down? Okay, that's a Rakshasa going for the Awesome. It could have been bad if it went for the Mauler, but it didn't. We finally get to stand the Mauler back up. After it got absolutely mauled. It's supposed to be the Mauler, not the Maulee.
Back up.
Okay,
Ready for
we're
more.
going to move the Mauler down over this way.
Got it.
We're going to Vigilance it. And these hit odds are so bad that I'm not even going to bother. We're going to brace. Which does, of course, mean that we can fire next round without getting knocked down. So we can move our Battle Master up over here, and so we shall. We can fire on the Rakshasa or on the Warhammer. Hit odds are better on the Warhammer, so we'll go ahead and take that shot. We missed everything there. That's sad, because we could have made him unsteady. Okay.
I'm here.
So the Boar's Head is going to continue to not move. And we're going to fire on the Atlas here. Yeah, this is fine. Man, we're getting some awkward artillery shots there.
Tech warriors. Show them what you got.
Okay, phase 26. Who are they going to move? Probably the catapult? No, this is someone we don't see, actually. C3 network protected up here. Okay.
Waiting for
So our
orders.
Mauler at this point is going to Vigilance again. And we're going to fire on this Warhammer. Now, here's the thing. We did not move. So the question is the tooltip correct? And this only works if you have moved before firing. Because if that's the case, then Ace Pilot becomes a lot more valuable.
Firing on target.
That was a solid hit there.
Critical hit, Commander. My heat.
Yeah, I know your heat's up there. So there's another mover out here that we haven't seen. Now our main concern is the Mauler. Everything else is fine. Catapult moves. Fires on the Salamander. Okay, that's good. It could have done some substantial damage to the Mauler. That would have been problematic, potentially. The Warhammer 2C moves instantly. Oh, that's unfortunate. Heavy Gauss Rifle crit. Okay. So I do think that 1 HGR on the Mauler is fine. 2 HGRs I think is too much. Unless you can just remain still. But no, that's definitely not the case, right? Because I'm pretty sure... I need to go back and check the video. Did we move the bull shark? I can't remember. Before it was knocked down. I need to go back and check the video on that. Which I sadly can't do until I stop the video. The Atlas moves up, fires on the longbow. That's okay.
My armor's getting stripped off. Ooh,
Okay.
took a heavy
Now
hit
our
there.
salamander moves.
Took a hard hit there.
And we'll position here. We could fire on that Warhammer. And that would be our best chance here to eliminate a mech. So we'll Warlord, fire on the Warhammer.
I'm on him.
That's a lot of armor damage there. Barely any internal, but we did make him unsteady.
Orders?
The Awesome is going to position... I would like to be in front of this Mauler, but that's actually not LOS. Okay, so we'll just position here. And we'll fire on the Warhammer 2C. We'll not fire the ER medium laser for heat.
Roger that.
Solid hits there.
Target's taking a critical hit. My mech's overheating. Yes, Commander.
Yeah, that's to be expected. The longbow, I would say, is going to go for the kill on the Warhammer. What are our other hit odds? Acceptable. But we're going to go for the Warhammer here. We'll fire the ELRMs as well. This will go for the kill. That's a lot of crits. The Warhammer 2C isn't dead. And it does still have some weaponry.
Ready for orders.
The Madcat Mark II is going to head over this direction,
Affirmative.
where it can fire on this Atlas. Hit odds aren't amazing, but we'll take it. Okay. Decent damage to the Atlas there.
I'm out of long-range missiles.
Next up is going to be the Boar's Head, which is going to drop artillery also on the Atlas. It's the most centrally located of the mechs.
Die.
Solid hits there. I like
The
it.
heat's affecting my
So now the Bull
performance.
Shark will stand up. And we'll see if it gets knocked down again without moving here. I suspect that it will,
Affirmative.
but it won't necessarily happen right now. So that's the Atlas knocked down,
I'm taking heat damage.
but not the Bull Shark knocked down. Okay. Like I said, I suspect it will happen, but not right now. So we'll fire on this Warhammer and hopefully get the kill. Warhammer pilot panics, but does not eject. Okay. So their phase 17 mover that we don't see moves. What do they do? Or rather, phase 27, not 17. Do we see them yet? The answer is no. Did they reserve, or is this also a phase 26 mover? Okay, that's an awesome there. Off over this way.
Commander?
So, how do we want to handle the Mauler here? I believe we do not have Ace Pilot. That would be, I think, a passive ability. But yeah, we don't have Ace Pilot. So, we're definitely concerned about the Mauler. We could fire just a single HGR.
Got it.
And we did hit him. And that kills him. Okay.
Gotcha.
So we don't expect the Mauler to be knocked down firing one HGR. That's okay. You know, I'm a little surprised that they implemented it the way they did rather than having it be based on recoil. Oh. What a time for an airstrike. Okay. Well, there's an airstrike coming in. It looks like it's going this direction. Is that from the airstrike? I don't think so. I think that was the catapult. I'm not sure which mech brought in the airstrike, but the salamander would need to move, like, into the airstrike in order to get off of this ridge. That said, we could just step forward over here,
Location confirmed.
vigilance the salamander, and fire on the awesome. Now, hit odds aren't great there. Which mech called it in? That was the Rakshasa. That's going to make things a little complicated.
10-4.
Little bit of internal damage to the Atlas there.
Commander.
So, the awesome can stay where it's at. We know that they're going to be coming either this way or this way with the airstrike. So the Madcap Mark II is potentially in danger. We need to Warlord here and fire on that Rakshasa. We need to eliminate the Rakshasa ASAP.
Got it, Commander.
Couple of solid hits there.
Watch my heat levels.
Next up is our longbow, which is also going to fire on the Rakshasa. At this point, we have no choice. We need to eliminate this thing as quickly as possible.
Yep.
So armor strips off of there. The Battlemaster can step back over to here.
Copy that.
It can fire on the Atlas from here. It's not an ideal target, but it'll do.
Critical hit, Commander.
Okay.
Good to go.
Now the Madcap Mark II, I want to sprint off over this direction. We want to get out of that corridor as best we can. We're not fully out of the corridor, but we're somewhat out of the corridor. We're going to fire on the Rakshasa with the Long Tom.
Copy that.
And let's see if we get knocked down. We did not.
Hey.
The Boar's Head is also going to fire on the Rakshasa with its artillery.
Okay.
That pretty much hit the Atlas there. And yeah,
I'm not
so
being here.
it definitely has nothing to do with whether or not you've moved this round.
Watch the heat.
We know that for an absolute fact now. So that's good to know. The patch notes are correct. The tooltip is not. Got it. Their Atlas moves up, fires on our awesome.
Reporting.
It's got those, like, donal
I'm
PPCs.
taking a pounding, Commander.
I'm a little surprised that the airstrike hasn't come in yet.
Confirmed.
The Salamander can head off over this direction, out of the airstrike area, for sure. And we can continue to drop LRMs on this guy, which we absolutely have to do. Now that airstrike is certainly going to come in soon. It's phase 27. What exactly are they going to do? That's their awesome moving. It moves up, fires on our awesome. Gets a structure exposure and instantly destroys a heavy PPC and LRM-20. I did not anticipate that, but literally everything hit that torso, or hit that arm rather. Okay. Well, the awesome's a backup mech, and that's fine.
Heat damage.
But yeah, losing that is a bit annoying for sure. The Rakshasa moves up. And what else do they have? That's that catapult. Fires on the Mauler.
Ah, dang it, that hurt.
I believe we just lost the
Getting
Mauler.
pretty hot in here, Commander.
Maybe. No. We lost the torso on the Mauler. Okay, I mean, I was talking about removing a heavy Gauss rifle. I guess they removed it for us. Sure. So,
I'm ready.
our awesome moves now. There's actually very little that we can do here. We need to brace so that we can sprint out over this direction.
No shooting, just running.
And then we'll fire on this Atlas.
Confirmed.
We did manage to hit him there.
Heat sinks
Cool.
can't vent fast enough.
Taking damage.
So the Atlas moves, fires on our longbow. For the moment, that's
Can't
fine.
take many more hits like that.
I can't.
Now, our
take much
Mauler,
more.
I'm just going to eject. We've got a ballistic accuracy FCS there, but we need to rework the Mauler anyway. So I'm just going to eject the Mauler. That's fine.
Waiting
The
for
Madcap
orders.
Mark II is going to position up over here. And we're going to fire on this awesome. Hit odds are non-great, but we'll accept them. Stripping a little armor off of them.
Waiting for orders.
Our longbow is going to step over to the side here.
Move order.
We're just moving away from this firing corridor. We still haven't actually seen their airstrike come in, which is strange. But sure. We're going to continue to hit this Rakshasa. Not firing the enhanced LRM due to heat. Okay.
It's over the red line.
Oh, I'm aware. So the Bull Shark is going to continue to hit the Rakshasa as well. We need to eliminate it as quickly as we can.
Affirmative.
Does some damage there. No knockdown.
Receiving you.
The Battle Master can pretty much stay put. Hit odds are mediocre at best, but we'll take them. Actually, pretty good damage there. Structure exposure on the Rakshasa. That's solid.
Yes, Commander.
The Boar's Head will, of course, stand up.
I go down. I get up.
And we'll drop a sniper artillery on this guy. Actually, we'll drop just an arrow for him. We made the Rakshasa unsteady there. That airstrike still hasn't happened. Are airstrikes broken now? Or is it just because we don't have anybody in it? Interesting. Well, that's a Ninjato firing on our Salamander. This is definitely more than I was anticipating, given how much compensation there actually was. We got a little bit unlucky on this mission generation. The Awesome moves up, fires on our Salamander. No real damage there.
I'm receiving you.
So our Awesome is going to position off over here. We could fire on the Ninjato or on the Awesome, but neither is really very useful, so we're just going to brace. This airstrike is unfortunate, though, because it means we can't advance to this cover, which was the plan. That makes things much more difficult for us. Another mover that we don't see?
Yep.
Are there 3 enemy lances here? If so, that seems like a lot. We'll position down over here for now with the Salamander, so that we can fire our MRMs at this Ninjato. And we'll go ahead and do so. Getting some armor taken off of him. Phase 18, sadly the Rakshasa moves before we can really take advantage of him being unsteady. He's going to ace pilot, for sure. There's no way around that. But let's see. We know we've defeated how many enemy mechs? There's one here, one here, one here, one here. So that's 4. So yeah, there's 3 lances. Okay. Well, in that case, I really should put a cut in then. We're already 40 minutes into this, and we've got a ways to go yet. So, unfortunately, that is something... Ooh, they broke through the armor on the longbow, I think, there?
Minimal damage on that hit.
Or, no, that was the Awesome. Okay, just checking. So yeah, that cut does need to go in here. And next episode, we'll get this wrapped up. This is definitely more than we bargained for, but we'll call it good for now. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.